Evening, everyone. I almost didn't hit I had the button muted here and the stop cam turned off and the avatar, but barely made it when I went live. But I was texting, welcome to the show, everyone. Looks like I only got one in here right now, but hopefully a few more is listening. I was texting Mac today, a little while ago, and I know there's a time change now, and that's strange now. It means he was going live, MacMan was at 8 Georgia time, because we jumped up an hour. Now he'll be going, I figured it out. I think I got it right. He'll be going live at 9 Eastern time now. That gives me plenty of time to start about 7:30, 8:30, hour, 15 minutes, whatever, somewhere around that time frame. And crickets. Can you hear me okay? Cool. I didn't check the audio on this thing. Hopefully the audio sounds okay. But anyway, he'll be still at 8 because we jumped ahead. I think their time in Arizona stays the same or something. I forget. Actually, it may. I know he's 3 hours behind, but it does shift because he was going live here when I'd watch him at night at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Now it'll be 9, so that'd give me time to do a show. I won't have to go as early. I was going to go do a show maybe Monday night at 6:30 a.m. or p.m. I mean. So I figured, hey, that's better. I can start the show at 7:30, go to 8:30 or 8:45, and still have time to jump on in his show and watch his stuff. So I think it's going to work out good. Evening, Reloader 762. Thank you for being here. Good to see you too, Colt. Always, man. Ain't that weird? He makes the lowers on a 3D printer and throws them in the trash. Might have been better if he took them out and beat them with a hammer. But that was one expensive trash dump there. Boy. Especially if he serves time, and it sounds like he may. I don't do that 3D printing, but I think we have a right to. I'll go political for a second. We've always made firearms in America since before the country's founding, and we never had to get a permit or anything. I just don't believe in it. If you made them years ago, hundreds of years ago, we should still be able to build them, even with newer technology. I don't think we should have a right to put numbers on them just because they tell us to. But that's my personal thoughts. But they're going to try to change as technology grows. They're going to try to shift and add more legal crap on us. And it's, gosh, sometimes I think, I hate to say it, and I say it occasionally, but not online. Doggone, it seems like sometime before it's over, we're going to be a police state, totally. I mean, you can only have so many laws on a country, But enough of that. I'll end up losing the audience before we get started here. Appreciate you guys coming in tonight. I was hesitant first about doing the show, and I texted Mac. I call him MacMan. And he was busy doing something, and he said he wasn't going to go tonight. And I was thinking he went at 8, but my time jumped forward, and he finally got back with me. I figured it out. Okay, good. I can go at this slot because I had it scheduled originally a little bit earlier. Now, I've got that Nightbot thing kind of timed too fast, so you may see that 1776. Matter of fact, gosh, I hate to go in there and do it while we're on here. Bear with me a minute, guys. It's weird on here by yourself because you don't wear your earpiece. You don't hear nothing. It's just, which is strange because I'm used to, if I'm on a show or something, for example, I've got the earpiece in there and I'm listening. Still adjusting, I guess, to streaming by myself the past few years after having Echo with me there for, almost 2 years, I think, or close to it. But let me change Nightbot right quick. Bear with me, guys. Let a few more drift in here. Be right back, just in a few seconds. Okay, I'm back. I had to pull. I changed I had forgot. I ramped up Nightbot to come on every 5 minutes because I was checking the other day to see if it was working. And what's weird is I just go there again and I'm signed out again. So something is signing me out of Nightbot. Could be a hacker. I don't know. But I had to sign back in, and I changed it like to 14 minutes. I don't know how long that get a drink and pull up a chair will be popping up, but we'll see. We are going to do a little bit of reloading around the gear tonight, a little bit. Something I've had for quite a while now is the ABP. I almost forgot how to spell it there, or pronounce it. RCBS Automatic Bench Primer. I've told the story that I bought this a year or two ago. It's been a while. And it was actually like $50, half price on, I think it was Midway, but they charge shipping. Plus they're a little slower to get to you. Well, Amazon was matching the price. So I got it for like 50 something dollars, maybe 50 plus tax. Insanely cheap, plus free shipping. It basically, half price, a little less actually. And I like it. I was going to get this one or the Lee. And I know the Lee's good and it's highly recommended. I know Echo used it. Andy, I think, uses it, or has got one CW, a few others. But this thing is just built solid. And I don't have a proper mount for it yet. I got a block of wood with a clamp, but it'll work for right now. We'll prime. I got some cases size from last, what was it, Friday's show right here. And I'm going to go ahead and get these primed up and show the thing. And actually, I don't even think I got to move it on this tripod. I can actually turn the camera around and just zoom in right on the bench primer. So we're going to do that here shortly. Must have more, as they call it, Brutal Bob says, lurkers. Must have more lurkers. We got chatters. The number's higher than people in the chat. But y'all usually carry on conversations. And sometimes I have to kind of distinguish you talking to each other or to me, you know. That's what Coach says there. Good to see you, Tactical Fudd. James Pollard's with us. Reloader 762. Appreciate you guys being here. Been a while. I miss being in here every week, really. Even though it seemed like I took a long vacation, I got so used to there for a while, and I actually kind of got burned out too, doing so many shows originally with Echo there. At first, first few months I was fine. After a while, boy, it kind of wears on you. Because I think I was doing about an hour and a half with Echo, which some of you remember. Monday, Thursday, my show. Friday, occasionally I'd go into Georgia shooting. So that was 3 shows. That's like 6 hours of streaming right off the get-go. Boy, it wore me out there. It was getting hard, too, to sit a lot. So I still prefer walking. And actually doing this tonight, I will be able to stand up, thank goodness. And I need a better chair. I'm going to actually lower my bench, do a lot of things in here. I got a lot of changes coming. Lights, you name it, which I've mentioned that today. Let me see who else in here, Coach. GGW. Good to see you, GGW Outdoors. A long time ago, I remember I typed GGW, and I guess I'd have it put RE, reloading, and it popped up on you. I think you remember. I was so used to saying GGW reloading. But I did basically what you've done. Even though I didn't want to, because I don't like bowing to no one, I got the guns out. Even though I got it up there listed, because I still consider myself AR gun 1776. So that's why I wound up, to explain, that's how I wound up with AR Patriot Nation. And then I just decided I could still do the Nation, or I can take the Nation off. So, so I did. I just went ahead and I thought, well, maybe AR Patriot 1776, heck, and I can also do something with the Patriot and the Nation. I can, do some theme things down the road. So that's some reasoning behind that too. but mainly to get that guns out, because I'm in a lot more. I go to a lot of different areas on YouTube. I go in with people canning, homesteading, you name it. I go in there and side chats and talk to them, and I'm even a moderator on. Actually, I'm more a moderator on the other communities probably now than I am in our community. So I'm on more channels, is what I'm saying, and so that's kind of strange, but it's just a lot of good communities out here in this world of YouTube, and they're all different. Like I said, some of them call each other by first name. Some of them do gaming chats, homesteading chats, bushcraft chat. You name it, camping. Some people stream outdoors all the time in a little canopy. So it's kind of different. But yeah, I'm going to do this little priming tonight. Still got 15 in here. Wait a little bit longer. Good to see you, Mac, man. Come here, Mac. I kind of figured out, Mac, about the time, because we jumped an hour. Like I said earlier, you probably heard me. I hate the time change. I ordinarily don't like it, but it does allow me. I was going to start earlier. I kept thinking for weeks, if I do Monday, I got to do it earlier, and I did not think of the time going forward, or spring forward, yeah, or fall back, yeah, fall back, yeah. I'm trying to think of which one. Spring forward is what I mean. But actually, right now, it is going to be better for the winter, because I can start a show at 7:30, end at 8:30, 8:45, and then jump into yours. And if you're free and you want to come up, man, let me know, Mike. Any of you guys, I say this a lot. You guys want to come up on the panel and announce anything, or you don't have to show your face, you're welcome to. Good to see you, though, Fudd. He's been around a long time. I did slow the timers down on the Nightbot. I don't know why that thing keeps signing me out. That's weird. And I don't think if I'm not signed in, it means the timer goes dead on me. And before, I didn't have to do that. There's so much hacking going on these days. It's no surprise. And I talked with Amazon today, and I told them, I said, sorry if I seem ill. I said, I think this is probably the 100th time I've talked to you since November of last year. And they could not understand me saying my name and email address. I think I sat there and spelled it out probably 4 or 5 times. One time I did it months ago, and I told him, I said, let me give you an idea. How about grabbing a pencil and paper? I said, because every time you mistype on that keyboard, I got to redo this. I said, this is no fun, me sitting here saying this over and over and over. And that one guy, I think he did maybe get a pencil and paper, because he seemed to get it. But I had to go through that again today, and I won't go into why, but I had to keep calling my name out, my email address. I told the guy, I said, how many times do I have to keep saying this? It just kept going. But anyway, it was funny. I said, it's okay. But I had to call in about some charge that was on the account. But hope you're doing good, Mike. Been a while since we've had you up on a panel or got together, really. Well, it seems like a while anyway. But, yeah, I'm eating cheddar cheese and drinking Sprite. No booze. I typically don't drink. But we highlight this here for a minute. I am getting to the reloading, but just bear with me. If the politicians really wanted to do something, they should eliminate daylight. Yeah. I heard they were going to make the daylight savings permanent. I don't want that. I want sun time, what we used to call sun time years ago. And just basically, I think we're already an hour. I'm not sure. I think, let's see. Alabama, I think, is an hour behind us when we're at normal time. So I think we're already an hour ahead. Alabama is sun time. At least they used to be. Decades ago, I hadn't been there and thought about it in a long time. And Georgia was like an hour ahead. I don't know if they jump ahead. I don't think they do. At least they didn't at one time years ago. And I used to say, I want sun time. Heck no, I don't want daylight savings all the time. But they claim it prevents accidents, does this, does that. And I actually looked into the political reasons here past day or two on why they do that time thing. But I usually don't drink a lot of Sprite, but I've been buying one of the smaller bottles, occasionally drinking one. MSB 9021, good to see you, man. It's 6:47 p.m. here outside of, okay, it's 7, okay, okay, yeah, so 6, 7, okay. Well, I'm only an hour ahead. So you all have do you all jump ahead to MSB? Or are you still at your standard time year round? I've got relatives in Alabama. I think you're talking about Birmingham, Alabama. Yeah. Yep. Have to be Birmingham, Alabama. My brother, he's been down there quite a few times the past few years, but I haven't been in, I think the 70s. Late 70s. Oh, yeah, we're on date. Okay, yeah. That's why I used to say sun time. My mother was, my grandmother had a farm in Alabama at one time around Piedmont area. Oh, gosh, we're talking back in the Great Depression, 40 acres. She was on a farm. And my grandfather passed away at, I think, 50 or 51. I can't remember exactly what year. He passed away when he got pneumonia back then. They didn't have antibiotics. And my mother was, I think, 3 years old when he passed. So I never met him. I got a picture of him where he looks kind of, when I look at him, he's tall, kind of like I am. And he looks Italian, even though I think we got German in us, some Irish, English in our line, but dang, if he don't look Italian. But GGW says 4:48 here on the west. Okay. Yeah, still, yeah, that's traffic time, buddy. What we used to call it a long time ago, what was it? What would they call it? Happy hour everywhere. I remember that because that's when I got single back years ago, and I couldn't believe you go in a place like that and they go, 2 beers for $1. I go, 2 beers for, wow, that's a good deal. I've been married 9 years. I never even went to a bar until then. And I was kind of surprised. Wouldn't you know it? Within 3 to 4 years up here at the Capitol, they decided they was going to do away with it because it caused too many people stopping in after work and drinking too much. And they did away with it. So, but appreciate you guys being here. We'll get on this thing here shortly. So we'll see who all drifts in here. Had a pretty good showing today for a coffee. I'm having second thoughts on this, letting this camera go. I went on today and put it this way, the lens that I'm getting for the Canon 90D I mentioned today in a coffee stream is cost as much as this whole camera. So I'm going to end up spending like $2,000, and I don't know if I can handle that right now. So I may just keep this thing. It's a good cam. I like it. I want one, though. Maybe down the road I may buy one just separate and just get a Canon 90D for about, I think, $1,200. And get a lens. I think the lens I'm getting is about $699, which is, God, it's outrageous. But figure a few years ago, that same lens ran you about $250. $300. I bought one in the, I used to be in photography back in the 80s. I did a lot of concert shots and stuff like that. Went to Stone Mountain, did a lot of Stone Mountain shots, concerts out there. The old Omni, it used to be here in Georgia before they tore it down. They said Elvis Presley had a plaque on that thing. He'd appeared there so many times. I never seen that because I didn't really think about it, back in the day. He was, I think at that time, yeah, he'd been passed. Yeah, I just didn't think it was, I didn't realize because I read something about it in the paper. Rollis Carvelis is with us. Good to see you, Rollis. I'm working and listening at the same time. Yeah. I know. One day a long time ago, I was, Jamie and I was texting or something, JH586, and he mentioned something about he was listening and couldn't always say something. And then Brutal Bob, he mentioned that he lurks a lot. And does give you something to, this day and age, if I was working and all that, I'd probably go to the car or get my phone out and turn it on the stream. Years ago, I'd just go out and put it on the stereo in those days, and listen to music while I was on lunch. I definitely would. These days with the phones the way they are, That'd be strange back if I went back to the 90s and had these kind of phones with this kind of power. It'd be totally different. But thank you for coming in, Ross. Good to see you, man. Anyway, let's get this camera lined up here. And we'll already got this. When you get this thing, you get 2 tubes. You get a small primer, large primer, a little pin right there, which is very easy to lose. And actually, I put a flag on that to tell me what I actually got labeled on what, because I do pistol occasionally and I don't want to mix them up. So I label if I got small rifle or small pistol, because sometimes I'll leave the primers in here and I'll stick it up there and I'll bring it back down and I don't remember. Don't ask me how I know. So I just dump them out and hopefully I can measure and figure it out. But I do know what is it? I'm trying to think, the rifle. I'm trying to think. Pistol can be shot in a rifle. Small pistol primers can't be. Don't do it, disclaimer. But it seemed like I did that as a test. But anyway, you get 2 of these. And I use the, what is it I got? I bought this. Well, it comes with a 650. Actually, I had to buy it extra. Actually, I don't even know where it is now. Oh, there it is. This thing's like a boat anchor right here. I got the, back when I bought the 650, I got the Dillon. And I kind of like it because it's got heft to it, won't crack. And so I highly recommend this. I mean, plastic's cheaper, but man, this thing is just solid. It weighs probably several pounds, at least a pound. And it's nice. So you do, put your primers in there and you pick them up with your primer pickup tube, which you guys know that, some of them, but if anybody comes in that don't know it. And so let me go ahead and get this done right here. And I still got to work on me a friggin' microphone and get rid of this, park this thing up here out of the way. Let me see. Bear with me a minute. We'll just sit here and let you see this thing work, which some of you probably got one. But kind of gives you something to do, talk around a piece of reloading equipment. And even back in the days when I was with Echo, I always got there for a while after doing a lot of, talk shows and things. I got to thinking, that it was cool on the bench to do, partial loading and things like that. Echo did it. I think was it a kneeler one time. We barely got that set up through a show. So that's kind of a learning curve. Even then, I don't know if it was set up exactly right. That's something I got to get down the road. Somebody asked me, Eagle Run asked me the other week, a few weeks ago, did I have a kneeler? I said, nope, I don't have a way to do that, but I need to get one though. Anyway, let's get this turned on to the RCBS primer. See, I can just turn that like that. I'm not even using, I'm using the remote basically as a tripod, the wireless remote. And all I got to do is, and then I can angle it. Now, granted, it does get darker, but I can solve that right there. Let me unhighlight GGW there. And there we go. I will have to kind of, bear with me a second. There you go. I have to tap that screen occasionally and get it to focus. I got it on product showcase, but it don't seem to jump in on the product that well for me, at least at times. So I just basically do the touch screen thing, and I got it activated. Anyway, I got it on a wooden block with actually 3 screws, wooden screws, and got a little clamp on the bench here just temporarily. And it'll tilt a little bit, but we'll put this in here. Basically just drop it in there like that. Pull the pin and don't lose the delicate piece. Let me see if I can get that thing to, I think I can do it like this. Yeah, see there? I can get it to, as long as I tap the screen. I had on continuous focus and I wound up putting on automatic. Well, I got that out, don't I? I put it on automatic focus. There we go. Sorry about that. All you do with this is it comes with 2 of these. You can see it's got a little cup there. Your primer goes down in it. It's got a large and small. I'm using I did buy a couple of art. You can use Lee, I think, with this. Redding don't work too well with this, if I remember. But Lee works with it. I've tried it. And this RCBS, I just went ahead and ordered a 308 and a 223, and I think a 9. So I did the RCBS shell holder. I don't remember what number because I don't think it's got a number on it. It's on I think it's on the side. Actually, let me see. Let me get my glasses and I'll tell you the number. I just bought it because it's RCBS. Hey, get RCBS shell holder. RCBS actually 10, the same number as Redding. I think Redding's 10 too, yeah. And it's on the very end right there instead of within it. But it's got a little step down ledge, which I like better. The Redding, sometimes you can get primer hung in there and you can't hardly get your brass out. So drop this down in there like that. Bang. Well, put your shell holder in first. Hey, live, I make mistakes too. Drop that in there. Got a really strong handle on this too. It's got rubber coating slid on it. Really beefy handle. You basically just, that right there. Of course, you can raise it up to lower it, but take your brass. I've already swayed the pockets or the crimp. I've already did a pocket uniformer, and especially on 223, 556, or 556 definitely. And I do that only one time on the pocket uniformer. So it's ready. I raise the handle up, stick it in there, push down, it bottoms out. This does tend to want to tilt because I don't have another clamp that'll go back here. But it works okay. Don't take much pressure, and it's always below flush. I mean, it works dead on every time. And I've never had this to malfunction, not one time, since I've had it and used it. Now, if I prime on the press, oh man, I actually, the little cup that that the primer goes in, guys. I actually was priming one day on the T7, and it got jammed up or something and bent it. Matter of fact, I think I got to order it, another one from Redding. Can't remember now. It's been a while, but it never did prime good on the press. I just never had no luck on it, and I never bought the upgrade on it because I'm just not one to want to do it on the press. I think it would be good probably for pistol rounds to have one of those primers to set up, an extra that you buy to put on it. One of those, forget what it's called, but yeah, it's good depth. You typically won't. It varies, 3 thousandths below flush, 2 thousandths of an inch. It varies. I usually just feel. I can tell this is below flush. So that's it. There's one. Let me check kind of move back and forth here where you guys see what you all say and see if anybody comes in. Having to move this right now. I'll kind of highlight because there's no rush on this. MSB 920, the small Redding tube works okay in mine. Oh, okay. I hadn't tried the tube. Let's see. I was talking about the shell holder. For me, for some reason, the Redding don't work as well for me, if I remember. It's been a while, but I just went and ordered 2 RCBS. I typically will do Redding shell holders. So I got a complete set of Hornady with a 40 added. I think like a 6 shell holder set. Then I got a few Redding shell holders, and then I got 2 or 3 RCBS that I purchased. Now I got Lee, of course, because they come free. Brutal Bob. Did I see him or somebody say something? Yeah, Brutal Bob. See, I missed that. I was over priming the thing. Where's he at? Trying to find him, can't see him. I don't see him anywhere. Where's he at? You get lost on this scrolling here. Good to see you, Andy. Thank you for jumping in, man. Good to see all you guys. There you go. There's old Nightbot. Get a drink and pull up a chair. I may have that timer. Apparently a little, probably 14 minutes too, or 15 minutes. Good to see you, Andy. Thank you for coming in, man. Oh, there's Bob. Hey, Bob. What's going on, man? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I figured you were up there hiding somewhere. I have to scroll up to find you. Who else is in here? Colt is with us. Raleigh Carvelis is with us. Yeah, got a good little crowd here. This is the first time all this time, it's been almost 2 years. When I bought this, I was going to do a show around it. And Echo, end up having a separation from his wife or divorce. And anyway, mash this here again. You just like that, puts the primer in. Well, that one's already primed, that one is. Stick your round in there. Hang on, let me highlight that. Get the graphics out of the way. There you go. That's it. You can feel it too. I actually feel it. I know some people like the hand primers. I've never did it. Hey, my old age, I don't want to wear my fingers out. I actually do exercise things, but I just don't want to. I didn't want a hand primer. I wanted something like a bench one. And before I got the bench one, I would do all my priming on the 650 in bulk, especially 223. And that one's below flush. So it always seats good, though. It never, as long as you mash, push it till it stops, it works every time. Now, I do forget sometime to do this, to put the primer in. I'll reach down and realize it's sticking up. Just do that. Pop it in there. Yep, below flush. So it's a good unit. I like it. I have no regrets on that. I think Viejo, he has one. Max got one. I know he does because he did a show on it. And he's the one who told me about this one, or to get them back a while back. When I was kind of leading to the Lee, but I said, nah, it is plastic. I'll just stick with a RCBS. I don't know if I'd have bought it if it had been $120 or 100. But man, I couldn't resist that sale that day. And I discovered it. I was in a live when I found it. I got to looking for it. Somebody texted me. Well, good to see you, Brutal Bob. Good to see Andy. Good to see y'all. GGW is with us tonight. MSB 9021. He goes way back there with me for a while. Good to see all you guys, man. This is twice I streamed today. Something's going on here, huh? And I'm not even taking sinus medication or drinking coffee. D-Dub D37. I figure I'd miss something there. It don't take long. Sometimes these chats can move fast. Even a small group can, depending on how they talk. Reloader 762. What's he got saying here? I have 2 old Lee hand primers, both probably 15 or more years old. Wow, still work. Also like priming on press using my Lee Safety Prime Gen 3 on my 4-hole. Yeah, I know Echo, did priming on his press, on that turret. That's something I'm getting. Like I said, I almost bought it for my birthday. And I wound up getting a little bit more gunsmith gauge and coming here and some rock set and stuff. So that'll be my next purchase. And I might sell off a press because I don't really need that one. I don't need 5 presses, to be honest with you. And I don't want to sell the T7. I don't want to sell the doggone Reading Big Boss 2 because it's just a nice press. And the only way I'd sell the 650, I probably would that if I could get the RL 1100. Is it 11? Yeah, RL 1100, commercial grade. I would love to have that thing. I think it was once $2,000. Now it's running about, I think, $23.99 or $24. It's way up there like everything else is. But let's see. But good to see you, D-Dub. You've been out here with me a long time, too. Good while, man. A lot of you guys have been around a long time. I always said this back in the early days when I went in Georgia and everywhere, the streams before I even got a camera. Andy would always say hello to me every time. A lot of people don't think that means something, but it does mean something to people. And I always try to, jump in the streams occasionally and do that. I think I was in Georgia the other week, not this past week, but the week before that. I went in there and said hello to a bunch of guys. But anyway, we'll get back on this. We got 3 done. Hey. And I am throwing some powder. I've got, you can't see it because I'd have to turn right there. I've got 8. I'm not going to say what I got. I'm using dummy powder anyway, so. New word there for the algorithm to figure out, huh? Anyway, this is a good primer. I like it. And you can, I say the only thing I don't like is loading the tube. But hey, I'm going to get one of those little buzzers vibrating things, and I'll probably see how that goes. But, most of the time I'm not loading hundreds and hundreds anyway. I'll do maybe 20 or 50, usually about 20 or 30 at a time. But yeah, it works good. And I can tell with my finger there, just touching it, it's below flush. But pretty good priming system. You won't regret buying it if you don't own one. I am going to order the inline fab plate for it. That way I can take one of these presses off here and put it on here. That way it'll be good and solid. I don't like this board. What did I do? See, now I messed up talking. I already had a primer in there and I was trying to prime it. And it won't work too well either if you don't have a primer in there. There you go. Drops every time though if you do it that way. And you can do this pretty fast too. I just have a habit of checking primer depth. I got to stick the primer in it. I haven't used this thing probably in quite a while. But there you go. It'll be ready next time. I sit there and did 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 rounds right there that fast and that easy. It's a good system. Dwayne 7834. Good to see you, Dwayne. Appreciate you dropping in, man. I'll try to highlight you guys too. I know I call you out and talk to you, but I still want to try to highlight you. And it's a little bit easier for me to read. D-Dub says, be careful with bench primer pushing a little too hard. Yep, I found out it gives you a leverage and can dent primers no problem. Yeah, you can. I know some systems you can press a primer too much and it causes it to not work right when in the gun because you basically bottom it out so hard. It's got little anvil, little things on there that actually get kind of bent and it makes it fire off or explode. Works awesome, though. Primes very fast once the tube's loaded. Yep, sure does, man. I have no regrets buying it, especially at 50-something bucks and free shipping. The only thing it got me for taxes, but taxes was, at that time, was everywhere, even Brownells. Let me see. Bear with me, guys. Let's see, Ronnie. Better grab one. Price keeps going up. I haven't even looked at the price on these, the ABP lately. It's been a while. I know it seemed like one time it was 119. And that was when I first bought this, when it went off sale. And everything at the first of the year in reloading seems to go up. You all noticed that. Everything. Guns, reloading gear, you name it. It seemed to always have if it ain't brass, cost of brass going up, it's one thing after another. I wonder sometimes the industry, they just use New Year's as a chance to go up, 3% on their prices or 25%. But raw materials, I was saying. Yeah. I think it was 168 during my birthday, something like that. And it went up to about $180 now at the Midway reloader. Yep. And I thought, doggone, I should have bought it. But it'll come back on sale eventually, and I'll get it. I want to get it set up, like I said, I want the little heads. I'm going to put the 4 dies on it and get it set up. That way I just do like Uncle Jim. I just reach over and grab it and throw it on the press, and it'll be easier to do a show, too. I don't have to set the die up. And but I don't mind setting the die up occasionally on the show, but I don't want to do it all the time, a lot of them. That's why typically if I do something around the instant indicator, I'll just stick with it. I already got the other dies. Now, I do got to set up for these to put the dummy bullets in. I do have to set up the Forester, which is easy. I use a little, even before I got this from Mac, I used a little screwdriver like that. I've had one for years. Got one from Seba and one from, I forget, Silicon Valley here in Atlanta area years ago. I think the school closed. Got one of those, got Phillips on one end, but But I use that to set up the Forster, in other words. I turn the screw and I use a dummy round to do it. And I can do it without dummy round, sometimes just about as fast. But I can definitely do it a little faster with the dummy round. But you basically just turn the center a few thousandths longer, tighten the nut, and then slowly, zero it out. And then it's not a big deal. It's pretty easy to do, actually. And I actually like it and use it a lot more than I do the Redding, even though the Redding's a good seating die too. Let me see. I run all my pistol and short rifle rounds on the foil. Yep, see there? Yeah. I know Echo did some. He bought the mech there for a while. Apparently he didn't get to use it long until he had to move. And I think he'd been with that lady 17 years. Nicole was her name, if I remember. Called her Nikki. And anyway, scroll up, make sure I ain't missed any of you guys. Thanks, guys, for showing up, man. It means a lot to me. Appreciate it. Especially the way I've been so hit or miss the past year. And I still got to get down to a few more things with that motor here and there. I want to do. I'm going to get some more lube, drop some lube on the cam. And I'm going to go this week and I'm going to hit the shop and maybe every 2 or 3 days. And I'm going to try to not push him, but just show up and go, how's it going? How much longer? How many cars in? When do you think I can get that thing? You can get my car in there. So better to let him see me at least once a week, because if not, he'll just forget about it. And he's not pushing me to the rear. I'm already to the rear on getting that job done. I'm talking about a motor being put in my car for the ones that don't know about it in here. But anyway, let's get back to priming. And I'm looking forward to that car this summer with air and everything. No more stick shift killing me. No clutch. Good air. I can't wait, but I got a feeling it's going to be delayed, and that's when I'm not going to be happy. Yeah, this works real well. Like I said, I've never had a problem with it. I thought, well, it's got to have some kind of issue because, most everything does seem to have a glitch, one way or another, especially machinery. But nope, it works almost all the time. As long as you do your part. But great primer. I got a little one of those old plastic Irwin clips. I did have 2 on it, but I put it on moved it and kind of set it there, so I have to be careful. It'll wind up in the floor. So appreciate you guys being here. Hanging out. Somebody I was thinking of. I was trying to think. Let me scroll up here. I'm gonna go through my old habit thing of just scrolling up, calling every one of you doing a shout out. I've done it so long, it's kind of hard not to do. And then I'll start back on the reloading thing again. I'm here. Colt 1927. I think he was the first time in here. First person in. Appreciate you being here, Colt. Reloader 762, number 2 person that chimed in. No telling who was listening, though. Reloader 762. Tactical Fudd joined us. Good to see you, Tactical Fudd. James Pollard is with us. Good to see you, James. Nightbot's with us. Kick his butt. GGW Outdoors. MacMan, can't miss him. I already know that in my head. Let's see, who else? MSB 9021, good to see you, man. It's almost like old times because most of the old crowd's here. Got quite a few missing. But half time, I don't get notifications anymore. So I know you guys probably don't either. It seemed like, even with my new phone, I don't get, I had my old phone, I used to get notifications. I would hear it laid on the bed, and I'd hear it go off. And I've tried it with this phone, and I hear nothing, even though the audio's there. I basically have to look at it. Let's see, who else here? GGW Colt. Rollis Carvelis is with us. Good to see you, Rollis. Good to see you too, D-Dub. Brutal Bob is with us. Andy79Z28 is with us. Let's see, Brutal Bob, he does a lot of loading, hand loading. D-Dub. Mainly, too, this helps, doing the shout-outs helps you also, that way if you overlook somebody. Dwayne, 7834 is with us. Good to see you, Dwayne. Thank you for coming by, man. Appreciate it. Who else? That's it for right now. Got 18 on, not bad. I don't stream hardly anymore. But like I say, I'm gonna try to. We'll try this Monday for a while. I was thinking about today in the coffee. I was thinking about Wednesday, but hey, Monday's not too bad either. I just didn't know if I, for sure if I wanted to do two shows, almost back to back. But hey, it works. No issue with it. But let me see, where's my brass? Trying to find some brass to prime. Here we go. Pull some of this out. These are already, last I checked, are cut to length, or at least normal. I cut mine at 1.740 or 7.743. It varies. Sometimes if my thing is set on 0.742, I'll leave it. I don't worry about a few thou. I'll just leave it alone. A lot of people don't cut back. I understand that. Sammy says you can do 30 thousandths, basically 730. I don't do 730. I'll do 740, and that's the minimum. And this is, yep, I got to trim this one. Yeah, some of these I didn't get sized. I took them out of a container, sized them for that show. So this is 1.176. So yeah, some of these need trimming. So no big deal. I'll do a show around the trimmer next week. Have the L.E. Wilson Sinclair version trimmer. And I'm going to hopefully get a, Little Crow Gun Works, one of those I can do real quick, fast. Hope you guys had a good weekend, I should say. I was thinking week. When you're retired, you forget. Yep, didn't put a primer in there. Sitting here running my mouth, not paying attention. You can usually feel too, boy, when this bottoms out, you feel the stop really good on this machine. It does work good. I did cook me Sunday? I did cut me a New York strip on my smoker Sunday. Had me a baked potato. I got tired of eating peanut butter and cheese and banana sandwiches. Hang on a minute. Let me grab a few of these out of here. Not one single hiccup. This thing just keeps going. You just can't beat it. It is expensive now, but oh boy, that really went in easy. That's a little bit looser primer pocket. Some of these are mixed, a little 223. All this is mixed range brass too, by the way. Mixed head stamp. That one had a little hiccup. Probably a tight primer pocket. I reamed the swage pocket out. It may be a little tight. That was the only one. I could feel the pocket wasn't quite right. But trim all mine. Excuse me, guys. Andy says I trim all mine to 7. See, if I measure them and they're somewhere like that, I won't sometimes. I just leave them at 7.50, 0.750. But I trim like Highboy does, 740. But like I say, most of the time I'll set the machine up there to 0.743, 44, whatever it's set, and I'll just do a whole bunch of them. And I don't have the adapter yet to do the with a hand drill, little screwdriver drill like MacMan. I hope to get that soon because I need that adapter. I don't like sitting there having to hand crank that stuff. It's okay for 308, but to do 223, 556, it's better to get the electric screwdriver a hold of it. And I do have. I was thinking I have the Milwaukee electric screwdriver. I got that thing. I think battery, charger, the whole kit for $69. year before last, I think, on Black Friday. Smack that like button. D-Dub says. Weather, Shirley. Okay. Shirley, is that a city or a county? Probably city or county. Andy's up there on the, near Long Island, isn't it? Up there in the New York area. I used to work with a guy. He was upstate New York back in the 80s, and he says, he said, upstate New York's different. He said, it ain't like New York City. I said, oh, okay. Because when you first hear New York, you think, yeah, city. Long Island, that's what I was thinking, yeah. Yeah, I remember you saying something about it here a while back. But good to see you guys tonight. Let's prime a few more. And then I'm going to maybe dump some dummy powder. Trying to stay out of trouble. I got enough here to work with. Now, what I do, I do this. Some of you seen me do this. I don't always. I agree. The Reading BR3, 3BR. I forget what it's called. I think 3BR. It's got the universal thing in there. Chamber. It comes with it. It's a lot larger. It'll. Most of the time, I can get it. If I do keep my cadence right, I can keep it about within 1 grain. Occasionally, you might get off 4 grains, but because I do know it can wander. A lot of people don't trust these. I go ahead and dump it in the case right here. Bear with me a minute. I do this. I come over. Might help if I get my funnel out, mightn't it? Where's that thing at? It's long. I don't even know where there it is. Yeah. I eventually want to get the aluminum funnel system. I forget the name of it. It's not the big funnel system. It's by Area 419, I think it's called. I do the one by Lyman. It was cheaper. Got it, I think, on Amazon cheap. If I remember right, could have come from Midway. But I do the, let's see, 22. It does pretty good. It's not a bad powder throw funnel. Works pretty good. So we'll move that out of the way. So I already got one. I won't even go into what I got in the dummy powder I'm using. It's phony dummy powder, of course. But we'll do that. Let me get my shell holder back out if I can find it. Should be number 10. There we go. I am going to set the the Forester micro up in this stream. I think I got time. I've got quite a few here primed at this moment. I've got this ready to go. Let's see. Have things to do before. Oh, night, man. Have a good one, Andy. Let me, I'll do, y'all want me to do a setup on this Forester? I'll do it if you want to see it. Kind of explain how I do it. It's real easy to do also. Thank you for being here, Andy. Let me see, make sure I ain't missed no one here. Let's see how that Colt. I had a gunsmith who would give your gun back if you asked how the work is going. Oh, yeah. That's kind of like the guy that did my motor. He was, I think, 65, and he'd been there 50 years doing motors. And boy, he was. You say something, boy, he'd tell you. But I didn't take it personally. I just knew it's how he was. My brother kind of got a little. He didn't particularly like it, which is weird. The next time I went by there, him and my brother talked quite a bit. So, but yeah, I had a machinist that was that way. He very opinionated, and he lets you know he knew his stuff. But let's get this thing set up right here, right quick. If I remember, let's see. I'll do MacMan's screwdriver he sent me a while back. Hang on, I'll get my dummy round out. I know I got one. Let's see. I forget which one, though. I got to measure that way. I don't know. I think I got two of them. Dummy rounds. I'm probably going to do it a little long because I want to make these rounds. This is dead nuts on the manual. 2.200 or 2.19. It kind of bounces a little bit, but yeah. 2.200, which is the spec. I'm going to make it a little longer because I'm not seeing much of my cantilever there. So I'm going to make it a little bit longer than this and change the length of these compared to the last 50 I ran. What I do on the, let me see. Let me see if I can try and get this in closer where you guys can see it somewhat. Right there it is. Now what I do is I just loosen the nut. Sometimes I'll take a screwdriver, of course, and I'll kind of snug it a little. Or I mean a pair of pliers. I back out the center screw. I zero this thing here in. Actually, I don't even have it tightened down. Bear with me a minute. It's going to take a little longer than I thought. I thought I had it already torqued down, but apparently not. What time is it? 8:30. Yeah, we got about 15 minutes. We'll set the Forster up. Let me see. Make sure I like the Forster because I can actually see the dial numbers too on it. Right. I'll set it to 0. I'll screw it in, raise the ram. I'm using Dillon lock rings on this turret because I can get to it easier. I don't use the big Forster, and I don't use the, I do use the Hornady lock ring sometimes. And I got one on the instant indicator right now. Hornady, because I like Hornady lock rings too. This, I touch the shoulder and I back it up a couple, 2 or 3 turns. I don't do it all the way. Well, actually I do. Sorry about that. I screw it down to where I get about half the sleeve, which is like a chamber going into the die. That's the way I do it. Where's my wrench? Where'd you go, wrench? Hang on, guys. Well, on the press. It was right here somewhere. Here we go. Okay. It's got a sleeve in there. It acts like a chamber. I faced the 0 towards me. Where I can see the numbers line up. I can go further than that. There we go. Right there, a little bit less than half. And I'm going to snug it up with the Dillon lock rings. There we go. I'm going to back the center screw out. I don't know where it's at, but I got an idea about where it's at from the last time I used it, but I'm going to back it out. I'm going to put the dummy round in it. I'm going to back the nut out. I'm going to raise the ram with a dummy round in it. And I'm going to screw the center down with about the feel with my fingers. I think I got it enough where I can get it in there to touch. Or far enough screwed in is what I mean on the press. Yeah, I feel it now. I feel it touch the bullet on the dummy round. I'm going to back it up a few turns. And I'm going to screw down the little round nut. All right, I'm going to take the, I don't like doing this because I don't want to, it's knurled, the little nut is, but I'm going to hold it with a screwdriver, the shaft, and I'm going to lightly snug it. Right there. I'm going to turn it at least one complete turn out. Maybe two. We'll do it twice. You can do it however. Sometimes I'll do it twice, sometimes I won't. Okay. At least I don't have a long way to go now. I could do it closer than this. I can get it almost right to this. I can set it up, but I was going to do it a little different this time. Matter of fact, let me go down one more time. There we go. That's close enough. I can set it up really close with the dummy round, or I can set it up a lot longer. It depends on what I want to do. I am using 55 grain varmint spear point, soft point bullets. They're sold at Mid-South. Come on. There you go. It's a good bullet. It's actually Hornady, and they sell it. They call it their Varmint Nightmare. 55 grain. So put that in there. What is going on there? That ain't right. Hold on a minute. What won't go wrong will on YouTube, especially during a live stream. Okay. Dump that right there. Okay. Oh, well. We'll do this totally dummy without any of the dummy powder. I put my hand on it. I feed it up in there with like that. And this is how far it is on the first go round, which I've made it a little long. I told you that. Got that on the dang product showcase. Weird. There you go. Still got a little ways to go. I may have did it a little too long, but that'll be all right. I can still turn it down. I'll go ahead and turn it down a whole revolution. Just see what happens. Hurry up and get it back at near a little closer to it right now. I may have not have screwed it, that center rod down too long, being in a live stream. You do mess up during live streams. Let me see. Nope, not going down yet. I actually set it up a little too long, but it'll still work. Typically, I'll get it a lot closer than that. A lot closer. I won't do that again in a live. I'll set it up more closer to the dummy round. Matter of fact, hang on 1 second. That nut didn't tighten up. Now I know what's going on. Where's the dummy round? I'll do it to this one. Okay. This thing slipped. Usually I just, sorry about that, guys. Trying to get, there you go. Usually I just stick the screwdriver there, hold it, and tighten it, and it snugs it down. Apparently I didn't tighten it enough. There we go. There we go. Yeah, there we go. That's a lot closer. I'm going to take it down about 7/1000ths of an inch. And, a little more. 1 thou, 2, 3, 4 thou. I'm about where I want to be. 15, 16, 17, 18. Let me measure the length on it just to see what it is. It's getting there. I'll try to do about 3/4 of the cantilever. Yeah, 2.212. I'm 12/1000ths above the manual. So I can go down a little more. 1, 2, 3 thou. I can go a little more. 4, 5. That's getting better. A little bit better there. Yeah, 2.205, which is almost the book is 200. So if I go to the 200, the cantilever has almost disappeared. Actually, it is right at it. You don't have to go by exact bullet. If you got you don't have a lot of powder in. If you got it near the max load, you wouldn't want to go deep. In other words, but if you're starting up a mid load or a mild load, then you can go a little deeper, and your pressures will be okay. But that's it on the Forester. And I told you the measurement of that, and I'll show you this. Funny, I can get this camera to work every time when I'm not live. There we go. I can go a little deeper, but if I do kind of a little on the hotter side of the load, I don't go down to the 200. I keep it a little longer. And basically all it needs now is crimping. And I use a Lee factory crimp on this. I got I've actually got the redding with the center thing taken out. And it's a taper crimp. But I typically use the Lee factory crimp die is what I typically use. And I just light crimp. I don't do a heavy crimp also. Anyway, pull this down. Hang on. Bear with me, guys. Get the zoom back. Bam. Turn this thing around. See, I got to touch the screen to get the focus back in. Anyway, I enjoyed this. Went okay. I highly recommend the RCBS ABP automatic bench primer, and I do recommend Forester dies, micro. I like micro dies so much that when I do pistol like Lee or like redding, I don't like having to constantly take the nut on the redding, so I go to the Lee with aluminum thing where I can hand turn it. And I realized I'm just going to get me a micro 9mm and a 40 caliber cedar die probably by redding. Now I would consider the Lyman, and I would consider the Hornady. I don't know if they got a micro with a pistol. I don't know much about the Hornady dies at this point, but I do know I do like Hornady's rifle new micrometer they come out with. It has an orange color. It's just bigger. instead of the long, little slim aluminum looking one. I think it's an excuse to raise the price, probably $89 for that joker. But anyway, I enjoyed that a little bit. So the Forester really is easy to set up, real easy. I apparently couldn't get that little nut tightened down with the bi-script pliers I had. It's kind of hard, too, when you're streaming and holding a screwdriver. A little screwdriver's got a very small tip. A lot of times I'll use the bigger screwdriver, and as long as it'll fit in the slot, and I'll do it instead of these little small ones to adjust that shaft down and get the thing seating quicker. So appreciate you guys. But Chessboard is with us. Good to see you, Chessboard. Dwayne at 7834 is with us. Chessboard's jumped in there. Let me highlight. Good to see you. Oh, custom screen printing. Okay, so I've been looking away. I haven't been looking at the side chat. There you are, man. What's up, Wayne? How you doing, man? Thank you for coming in. Yeah, I was doing priming earlier, Wayne. I was doing the Forster micrometer seating die right here, the black one. And it's set up, ready to go now. And don't take much. And I actually like the Forster. I got so used to it, it's just easy and quick. And I like Redding dies. Redding dies will send you into bankruptcy quick. Especially if you buy, 3 or 4 or 5, and you start getting, I think I had one die set when I started out, like Mac had the neck sizer in it. It was 3 dies. It was $225 back then. That thing, I sent it back and went with the Forsters. A few years later, that thing was $289. I think now it's $300 for 3 die set. Of course, next, micrometer dies, all 3 dies, I think were micrometer. The neck sizer was micrometer. The cedar was, and what else was it? I guess the sizer. I'm trying to think now. It's been so long. I would think it would be the sizer in it. And anyway, good stuff. Redding's good. I'll tell you something else you can do, like with I do bushing dies on 308. I did buy a bushing for 223, but I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. It's not worth it. I did buy a Redding Type S die for my rifle rounds. I bought about 5 bushings to cover a number of brass, especially range brass. So I can cover thin all the way to thick lapua brass like that. So I got, I think, at least 5 steel bushings for the Redding Type S 308 die. The only thing is I got to get me another 308 rifle because I traded it in on a rifle, precision rifle years ago, a few years back. So, but thank you for coming in, Wayne. Appreciate you coming here, man. I'll try to get over there. I know you're streaming from time to time. Let me make sure I ain't missed no one. Brutal Bob is with us. GGW Outdoors is with us. Custom screen printing. And me and you will talk too. I'm going to give you my phone number and email, Wayne, and talk with you about some shirts, if you know what I mean. So, Custom screen printing does streams from time to time. I don't think he has a regular schedule, but he's out there most of the time. Brutal Bob is with us tonight. Good to see you, Bob. I just gave you a thumbs up and shared you out on my community tab, my friend. I appreciate it, man, if you're still listening. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that, Wayne. Running with Scissors. How you doing? Thank you for coming in. I like that name. That's cool. It's dangerous, but good name, though. Some people's got some really great, unique names on YouTube communities. It's really cool. Let's see. I'm just D-Dub is with us. Reloader 762. Making sure I ain't missing nobody. I've already called you guys out, so I'm probably not going to do the shout outs. It's actually starting to run. Yeah, 8:46. I've been running too long. I want to try to keep it no more than an hour and 15 minutes and under if I can. Who else do I make sure I didn't miss nobody? I almost missed Wayne. And if you're streaming tonight, I might, what is it? Yeah, if you're on later, I'll come on and say hello. If you're going to be running, I'm going to go turn my girls on back there. I'm on my rock and roll music. You know what I'm talking about, Wayne, if you're listening. He knows what I'm talking about. And I listen to the new duo singers. They harmonize. Boy, they rock on YouTube. They're in London right now. They live there. They come from, Austria? Yeah. But, that's it, guys. I appreciate you spending your time here in the evening with me, man. It means a lot to me. I've been missing in action, so I've been so erratic the past year, especially since Echo left, disappeared. And at times, I really wasn't burnout. A lot of it, I got tied up with a car, which most of you know about that. And I'm starting to get a little more furious about my car because summer's coming. That thing better get ready. I'm about ready. I told my brother in a text, I says, I'm patient so far, but I said, I got a feeling May's going to be here. And if he don't see me at least once a week, that car's going to sit down there and it's going to still be number 3 motors, in other words, 3 cars ahead of me. And I need that car. It's going to be hot and I want that AC. I'm tired of waiting. And if I had the dang, the nuts and bolts labeled, I would bring it here and put it in myself if I could. I don't have a lift. It's very tight around the bell housing on a 89 Corvette. You hardly have no room. So I'm not even sure I could even get there to do it. Appreciate that, Colt. Yeah, I enjoyed hanging out with you guys tonight. Okay, crowd. Good size. Appreciate it. And typically, if you start streaming on a regular basis, your crowds tend to kind of grow a little bit, get a little bit better. Because, like I say, nobody gets, I don't get notifications anymore. I really don't. And I got a brand new phone. What is it? Samsung S22 Ultra. Got it off of eBay open box, I think, or new, one or the other. I don't pay full price, and I don't buy from Samsung because I can typically get them cheaper on eBay. But appreciate each and every one of you being here tonight. You all take care. I'll see you now that I know Mac's going to be streaming at 9. I'll start my stream will start at 7:30 p.m. Try to every Monday night for a while. See how that goes on a regular basis. And I'm going to throw in a few coffees here and there because I do like the coffees. I think they're so casual. I just enjoy them. You just get on there and talk to people. There's no pressure about, setting stuff up or anything. But can't beat reloading gear, especially if we have a grid down or a EMP attack. Nothing's electric. I can still sit here and load. And the stores are empty. I can still, stockpile at a more affordable price. So I always say this, reloaders are similar to homesteaders. Reloaders typically are preppers. I mean, I do beans, flour, number 10 cans, and you name it, I do that stuff. So, matter of fact, I got some flour I got to put in some Mylar bags soon. I got to get on Amazon and get them ordered. But guys, I appreciate you being here. Check everybody's site out, 1776. Drop your link. I'll stay here another minute or so to let you drop your link if you wish to. Check everyone out. You guys have a good one here. Let's see. Running with Scissors. Co-owned a bar for 20 years. Loved Cheers. Yeah, I remember that show. I used to go to a place in Doraville, Georgia, near the old General Motors plant. About 12, 1 o'clock at night, they would pile in there. I think the second shift would end. And GM workers. And me and my brother used to go there. I was supervisor at a food processing plant. And he worked at the contact lens place, and we'd all meet down there. And then I'd drive back up to Woodstock, which is quite a little drive, about, I think, 45-minute drive from Doraville, Georgia. And, but yep, Cheers. I remember that show. I still watch it occasionally. And I'm doing the, the Walking Dead, because I never watched the entire series. But have a good evening. God bless. Catch you guys later, guys and gals. When I say guys, I mean gals too. Take care. See you next Monday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check out around anywhere from 12 to 2 o'clock, typically for coffee. I'll throw a random chat. Oh, 351 Cleveland, man. Good to see you. Thank you for dropping in, Cleveland. 1776, drop your link. At least I realize now I got to sign in on Nightbot every time. Something's going on over there with Nightbot. I don't know what's going on. But you all take care. Catch you later. Appreciate you being here.